Everybody, thanks for watching. Now, just a quick reminder that tomorrow will be the last day for the sale. All 33 digital DVD downloads you can get for $89.99. Original price $300. I kept the sale going because for many reasons, a lot of you guys didn't see the sale. A lot of people just wasn't online. A lot of people don't follow me on Instagram. So a lot of people didn't see the sale till last minute. So I got a lot of emails from a lot of you requesting, more time for the sale. So I reposted it, and again, tomorrow will be the last day, and this is the last time I'm going to repost it. That you'll probably see it at that price. It'll go back to the original price after tomorrow. So definitely want to take advantage of that and grab it if you can. Now I want to get into this video because a lot of people is getting really carried away with this whole Black Panther thing, and I hate to be that person, I don't want to be that person that comes in, it seems like they hating or they're trying to spoil everybody's fun and happiness about a particular, subject or something. So we have that happen a lot of times in the conscious community, in the Black community, where people just come in and want to bash everything that seems good for Black people. And a lot of people who are really into movies, a lot of people put a lot of their hearts and they really resonate with a lot of these characters in movies and stuff like that. So you really can't mess with too many people when it comes to, TV characters or what have you. But we really got to understand the position. We got to understand what's going on and what has been taking place, and not, get too carried away, which a lot of people have regarding Black Panther. We got to understand, again, it's entertainment. It's entertainment. We understand about us, having African kings and African kingdoms. And the fact that, stories are being put out there about these, people with powers and people who are doing amazing things. And we have for, decades, for most of our lives, have only seen superheroes cast, and by white men. We haven't really seen any Black superheroes, especially this mainstream being connected with the Marvel universe. But again, for those who are in the know, when you pay attention to Stan Lee, which he has admitted himself, and you understand about the Marvel characters, we understand that all this stuff comes from ancient Kemet and from African origins. So even though mainstream does not give us the credit for giving Stan Lee and other people the inspiration to put out movies like Black Panther and the whole Marvel universe and DC or what have you, we understand that a lot of the writers, a lot of directors give credit going back to ancient Kemet and going back into a lot of Egyptian and African mythological people. And this is something that we got to look at and really understand its place and who is putting it out, and the history behind Disney, and and just understand that Disney acquired Marvel, and that before Stan Lee, he was in a legal battle trying to basically get what he deserved, far as what the production with Marvel and what Fox and everybody was doing with his baby. What ultimately ended up happening is, he ended up losing that case, and you had basically the powers that be end up taking over Marvel. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. Yes, Stan Lee does appear in all the Marvel films, and he did, get cut a little bit of money, and he gets, those appearance fees or whatever like that. But what really happened is they basically took it from him, and it was some legal issues. He got some money, but not what he should have gotten. And you need to understand that Marvel is in the hands of the powers that be, which is why when you pay attention to the movies, to all the films, and understand what it's really talking about, it's getting into everything. It's getting into consciousness, energy, the history of us and what has been happening to us on this planet on a huge scale, but it's really hitting. And a lot of you won't be able to pick it up. And a lot of people are going to watch Black Panther and a lot of these Marvel movies and not really understand what it's talking to, or the little pop shots they take at us and the little hints they give out there. And it's just, again, a fictional movie that we can't really get too caught up in. We got to look deeper into the movie and understand what it's really talking about, because, you have a lot of people going crazy because of this film. People really showed up, to the movies dressed like Akeem coming to America, dressed in dashikis and all kinds of costumes or what have you, to really go see this movie. And I get it. I understand Black people are just happy to see a Black character cast and as a superhero and have a major role in a major motion picture. That's cool and everything, but we can't forget who is putting this stuff out and who is really behind it. Yes, it has a black director, but the producers, especially Kevin, I forget his last name. He's the president, one of the presidents of Marvel Studios. Is the producer on Black Panther, and the backing, of course, is Disney, and they're the ones who basically distributing Black Panther, and they own Marvel right now. So again, we got to remember the history and what has been taking place with Disney over the years, and we can't let any of that slide because they threw a movie with a black leading character as a superhero. And it's the same thing with Obama. Everybody, understand that this government has been doing nothing but, oppressing us and doing us dirty. They threw out Obama, and everybody got crazy, and they really just crowded around Obama and just forgot about everything that we have been through as black people in this country, really believing that Obama was actually going to do something for black people, and he did nothing. And it's weird to see what people really expect from a movie like this, to put so much energy behind it, to put so much effort and time, and people are online going crazy about this movie and arguing about this movie. And what do you expect to get from this movie? What do you think is going to happen because this movie released? What good thing do people expect to happen for us, as African Americans because of Black Panther? Now, I want people to really pay attention to history and really understand the whole concept, the whole phrase of, if you can't beat them, join them. You need to really understand that and look at history and what has taken place. And if you watch my videos, you're going to understand this a lot more because I talk about this in many videos. Okay, first of all, what they had to do with us as far as economics with Black America, because a lot of you guys are not really up on history and what has taken place back in the 50s and 60s. We were thriving. We were really moving up in business and industry, and they were falling. And Ronald Reagan came on and he campaigned for his friend who was running for president. Talked about this before. And he basically told America, we're screwed. We got to stop spending so much. We got to change the economy some way, somehow. We got to fix this because America is going down. Meanwhile, you had a lot of black entrepreneurs who was growing. And you had all this black buying power. And we were spending so much money in the black community back then that they looked and they said, you know what? We have to integrate. We have to let these black people come in because they're making all this money. I put out the video before. I talked about this whole thing, the whole video that's on YouTube with them basically explaining to white America, hey, y'all need to start selling to these black folks. They got money. Y'all need to start, really catering to these black folks. They willing to spend money. And it's so fitting that that came out when it came out right around the time of, integration and everything started happening around that time, when they really started to say, hey, these black people got a lot of money. They're successful. They're sophisticated. They're doing well. We need to get a piece of that money to help boost our economy. And as I explained this before, in order for you to really truly grow your economy, you have to bring in outside money. So again, I'll give you an example. If you have $10 million circulating within your economy, all you have is $10 million. You can't grow. You only got that 10 million keep circulating. You need another people from outside to come in and bring money into your economy to boost your economy money-wise, or else you're going to be stuck with 10 million. But if you can get these black folks to bring in, their $50 billion spending power into your economy, you get all 50 billion of that, and you get to put it back into your economy and not give a dime to them. Meanwhile, they're working hard and working for you on top of that, working hard and then bringing you back the money into your economy. Meanwhile, their economy suffers. And this is the whole thing. If you can't beat them, join them. That they understood. And they started to bring us into the fold of economic growth, except for we didn't really have none. They did. And you had integration, so that happened. So what you really need to still understand is, one, while we were getting treated unfairly, they had to really create different steps of control and really oppression, really control mechanisms to really take away our power. So again, when I say, if you can't beat them, join them, you have to understand sports and entertainment and what that's really about. You have to understand them putting themselves in positions of power to control certain things. So what entertainment, one, let's just go with entertainment. You have to understand when they sing, first of all, you had in the 50s, I talked about this before, you had our musicians really turning to us. Our musicians was turning to black folks and saying, support us. We're going to come to your town. We're going to play music, support us, and spread the music, play the music. And, in the 50s and 60s and, even the 40s, we was really into music. We had it on lock. And the power of music, again, which they understood, was affecting everybody. And everybody wanted to be like these black entertainers. You had all the white people wanting to go to the black shows. They didn't want to hear that boring ass doo-wop crap that these white boys was putting out. They wanted to really come into our music because our music was live. It was popping. It was great. And they seen the power that we had on them music-wise. So what they had to do, of course, was take control of that industry. And what they do is, as you can see, once they got control of the industry, the talent they bring to them. So if we control our own music industry, we will have the talent, we will have the power, and we will have the ability to control how that power was put out and who it was put out to. So by them taking control of it so early, they can control who comes in and what type of music they put out and who the music is going to affect. So again, if you can't beat them, join them. So they said, come on, come sign with us. And they signed all these black acts and gave people money to really create music companies, which they would later take over. And by them taking over eventually and them really signing all the acts and having the money to get musicians to come to their labels versus going to black labels, they was able to neutralize our spread and control of our music. And the alternative would be, don't sign black folks. Keep this integration, racism stuff going on. And what's going to happen? Black people is going to go ahead. They're going to create their own labels. They're going to create their own music control that they're going to control and have power. And guess what? They're going to sway black and white. Everybody's going to come to them. So we might as well go ahead and open up these musicians, concert houses and recording studios and record labels or what have you to control music. It's the same thing with the athletes. When they started out with basketball and, they want to let us in. And you had basketball teams, of course, who was better than the white teams. So they said, you know what? We got to integrate because we had this match with the best basketball team. I forget exactly who it was. I think it was the Lakers playing against this unnamed black team. And it was a, competitive game. It's the same thing with baseball. You had the Negro League and everybody was talking about the Negro League and how they would crush, the white baseball league. So, hey, we got to have integration because these black people are going to have their own league. They're going to support each other, and then they're going to show everybody that their league is better than ours. And if we come together and have a black versus white league, of course, they know we are superior. So if you can't beat them, join them. Even though it looks like they let us join them, they say, okay, come on, we're going to integrate. We're going to give you guys a break. What really they was doing was saying, hey, we know that you guys are better. You are superior genetically. We got to bring you in to make it look like, we all equal, or else everybody's going to see that you guys are far better and they're going to run to you. And that's what it is. They neutralized our power by creating these sports leagues and controlling them and saying, guess what, black people? We're going to pay you $10 million a year, $20 million a year to come play for us. Come to our team. Don't start your own league because we know your league is going to be better and your league is going to be fair. And guess what? You're going to be able to persuade white people, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, whoever, to come to your league because your league is going to be fair and you don't care about the racism shit. So they have to control it. We got to control the NFL. We got to control the NBA. You can't beat them, join them. It looks like that, but it's really, them understanding the power that we have and what we're going to be able to put out if we did it on our own. So they took control of it first. Sports, entertainment, plain and simple. And when you pay attention to it, you see that they're neutralizing our power and what we can do. So, if we went ahead and began creating our own societies, so we're going to give you welfare. We're going to make sure you have housing and everything like that. We're going to keep you at a low position to where you can grow economically, because if that happens, it's over. And this is what they have successfully been able to do for a long time. Again, I talked about this before. Every time we was able to grow up and, really expand economically, something happened. It was taken away from us. We know about Black Wall Street. And whenever we do anything major economically, it's an issue because they know if we grow economically and start spreading that wealth, it's a wrap. It's only a matter of time before we take over. And it's not so much of us taking over in the sense of conquest, but us doing things the right way, the way they should be doing it, as far as not, being racist about it. It's just, okay, well, if you have skills, come work for me. I don't care what color you are. You're going to work for us. We're going to make money. We're going to do this thing right. Versus them with their system, making sure that white people have a leg up, that they have privilege, and that, we got to scratch and fight and hustle and struggle and everything just to get ahead. And this is no different when you understand that when you see movies like this, Black Panther, and you got people, talking about the Nat Turner movie, and not enough people want to go see that because they don't want to see movies about slaves, but they want to see this fictional movie about, some character who don't exist, versus Nat Turner, who was real and did what he did. And it's crazy to see so many Black people put so much support behind a fictional character, a fictional film owned by a company that is racist against Black people and has done nothing to support Black people, who owns stock in private prisons, who does so much to really hinder Black progress. Now, that being said, it's good to see that, Black folks get these roles and make money. Same thing in sports. It's good to see those Black people make their money and, do their thing. But we got to really pay attention to what we put so much support behind, and what we understand about what we put our support behind, instead of us just going out there all crazy and saying this is the best and this movie is all that, and really making it like it's all Black when it's not. It's something that is going to be used against us in some way in the future. Them seeing the buying power of this movie, which I believe made about over $400 million this weekend, which is crazy, and we're going to see a change because of that. But my whole point is I don't want people to get, tricked and confused by this movie and believing that somehow these people just snapped out of it and woke up and said, we're going to end oppression of Black people. We're going to show more good things about Black folks. Pay attention to the movie. I haven't even seen the movie yet, but I already read about it before it came out. So from me reading the storyline, there's still some things there a lot of you guys probably didn't recognize or point out. Some of you probably have, that still have those stereotypical Black themes within Black Panther movie. And they're gonna give out those little pop shots and those little things that make us look bad. They're gonna put those in a movie, and it's up to people to really figure out what exactly they're talking about.